Hey everyone, Reaper here again with another video. Halloween is about another week and a half away. So I figured I would show off some books that are either horror-based or have horror-ish characters in them. Now, I didn't go through my entire collection. I just grabbed a couple of them. So, and this time, in this video, there are going to be no ECs showed. I just wanted to stick with some of the superhero books, okay? So starting off, War is Hell, number 9. Pretty cool issue, pretty affordable. You know, it's not going to run you a whole lot of money, even for a high-grade copy such as this one. Interesting story, beautiful colors on the cover. I just love the reds and how reds make covers pop. Yellows do too. It's pretty cool. Here's one that's, I would say, horror-based. Supernatural Thrillers number 5. The first appearance of the living mummy. I remember back Marvel in the 70s, they were coming out with all these horror type books. I believe they did Chamber of Chills. I think their version of Chamber of Chills. We had the Supernatural Thrillers. We had Tomb of Dracula, Werewolf by Night, all these sort of titles. This is one I think that sometimes is overlooked. Pretty cool. Their take on having a universal monster type character. Now here's one. Not necessarily a horror title per se, but you know, character that's kind of horror-ish. Dead Man. Strange Adventures. First appearance of Dead Man. Pretty cool character. Definitely has that horror feel to it, or at least horror feel to him. Pretty cool origin story, and a pretty cool book to boot. Alright, here's one that you would probably see over and over again in videos like this. I just had to put my copy into it because I recently upgraded it this year. Marvel Spotlight number 2. First appearance of Werewolf by Night. Pretty interesting character. Marvel's take on the werewolf legend. Like I said, when Marvel was releasing their own type of horror books in the early 70s, they gave this character a tryout in Marvel Spotlight before giving him his own title. And I think his own title, you know, one of the most memorable things about Werewolf by Night was the first appearance of Moon Knight. But still, aside from that, the character Werewolf by Night is pretty interesting horror character in the Marvel Universe. Just a couple of the books. Sticking with Marvel Spotlight, how could you not go over this one? There's been so many Ghost Riders. This is the first appearance of the Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. There were others that came after him, and there was another one before him. This one I think is the most popular and the most memorable, and definitely one of the most memorable and nicely drawn covers. So yeah, definitely a horror-ish character with his origin and his look. Nice character to find in the superhero books, other than looking at pure horror titles like Tales from the Crypt, other ECs, and other publications. You could find some horror characters in superhero books. There are plenty of them. There's another one. Evil Ernie. Interesting character. This, I think, is the reason why I think this one is sought out, is largely because this is the first appearance of Lady Death, who I think is obviously more popular than Evil Ernie himself, but still pretty cool cover, not bad, and definitely a horror-themed title with a horror-themed character. One that's not often talked about, you know, because like I said in a previous video, everyone, you know, a lot of people are into superheroes. They don't really pay much attention to pre-code horror or horror type characters, not unless a movie's coming out. And the last one, which I think is another obvious one for any collector, Tomb of Dracula 10, the first appearance of Blade. I liked the Blade movies. I remember when Blade first came out. That movie sort of just came out of left field. For those of us that wanted superhero movies back then, we never would have thought we would have gotten a Blade movie. But that movie came out and it was pretty good, and its sequel was, some would argue, even better. The third one was okay. It lost a little bit of its touch with the third one, but the 2 out of 3 is pretty damn good. But Blade was played very well by Wesley Snipes, and as a matter of fact, his look of the character from the movies reinvented the comic book character, because here he's okay. He's nothing really to write home about, but the Wesley Snipes portrayal of Blade really made that character interesting, in my opinion. And definitely one that I would love to see revisited on the silver screen, even TV show. I think that would be really interesting to see Blade show up. So those are the books that I wanted to show for this special Halloween video. I hope you all enjoyed it. These books are not too terribly difficult to find. They're quite common, as most superhero books are, quite common to find. The price, of course, changes depending on the grade, of course. That goes without saying. But not bad to have. Not bad to have. Not bad to sit back and open around this time of year in time for Halloween. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care.